Come on, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Y'all come on in here real fast. Uh, Good morning to those on the phone conference this morning. Good morning to those on Facebook this morning. Y'all come on in here really fast. Let's do it. Good morning, Sister Beverly. We're going to talk about the 5 people you cannot help. Yesterday we started talking about God is a helper, and it is natural for you and I to take on that attribute of the Lord Jesus Christ. Good morning, sweet honey 5016. Matter of fact, for those who really care about people, it is just a part of your DNA to want to help somebody. So it is, but unfortunately, you can think you are helping them, but in essence, you can be enabling them. So listen, y'all hurry up and tag a couple of people. Those on Facebook, you hurry up and share it because it's about to get good and it's about to go down. Come on, everybody, really fast. Do it really fast. No, serious. While you're doing that, would you do me a humongous favor? And let's start off by adoring God this morning. Can we do that? Can we adore God? For those, if this is your first time on the conference call, before we do anything on the conference call, before we do anything on Facebook, Instagram, the first thing we do is adore God. Pastor, why? Because the Bible teaches us in Philippians 4 that before we make a supplication to God, the first thing we are to give is adoration. We are to be able to give God, adore God, thank Him. Thank you, Cousin Katrina. Good morning, Talise. Good morning, Wine, and good morning, Mel Wilson Clark. Do me a humongous favor. It's out there now. We about to get ready to run for the hills in a few minutes. But can you please adore God first? We do nothing. If you've been on this prayer revival, this prayer call for a while, you know the first thing we do is give God some worship, give God some praise. Why, Pastor? Before we ask Him for anything, we give Him everything. Ooh, it's about to get good. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be good. It's going to be one of those good prayer lines that, good morning, Sister Jolene, that really help you compartmentalize people. There was a couple of days ago, or last week, I taught a lesson, put people in their place. And that lesson was suggesting not a negative nor derogative tone of voice, but that message was simply suggesting that everybody have a specific place in your life. And I thought it was a phenomenal lesson. I thought it was a phenomenal lesson. Phenomenal lesson. Phenomenal lesson. All right, come on, let's get into it. Well, this morning, listen, yesterday we started off by talking about that God is a helper. It is a part of who He is. Everywhere He is helping wherever His presence is. We got that. We talked about that God have attributes that you and I must possess in order to be like Him. Christianity is really to be Christ-like. That's particularly what that definition is. And if we're going to be Christ-like, we ought to behave like Christ. I posted this at least about a year ago that many people want God's love, but they don't want to take on God's character. I thought that was worth you throwing in the comment section. I say it again. Many people want God, Jesus love, but they don't want Jesus character. I said one more time. Many people want His love. That when they're in trouble, they want Him to love on them. When they're going through it, and I don't want to go through the rigmarole, but whatever they go through, they want His love, but they don't want His character. They treat Jesus like He's a Santa Claus, what we call an ontological Santa Claus. They treat Jesus as if He is just something you can pick up and put down, when we, on the back end, who really love Him and who's really called by Him and graced to have His presence, we don't take Him for granted. Somebody throw that in the comment section. Don't take Jesus for granted. Don't take His grace for granted. Jesus is not an ontological Santa Claus. He is not a logical being when you want Him to be. And then in all the other instances in your life, you hide Him like you're embarrassed of Jesus. Why I can say that? Because I've been through a season where I was ashamed of my Christianity, while yet trying to pursue an identity in a world that smothers those who call themselves Christians. I know transparency, confessions is good for the soul, but it's horrible for the reputation. I say it again, and I hope you hear me, that I went through a season where I was embarrassed of my Christianity. I wanted to cuss, really. No, seriously, I wanted to learn some cuss words, and I really wanted to do a lot of other things. I wanted to go from the window to the wall. I really did. I wanted to see them drop it low, all the way to the floor. I wanted that. I really did. But unfortunately, preaching since I was 12 years old prohibited me from doing a lot of those things that I desired to do. And so what I did was, psychologically, I was almost embarrassed of my Christianity. Lord, let me get all this. So you can't hide Jesus, by the way. So if it's in you, it's in you. If it's on you, it's on you. You will always stick out like a sore thumb. People will always identify you no matter where you go. Let's go before I get in real trouble. All right. So we talked about God is a helper, and wherever he is, he helps. Don't take Jesus for granted. We also talked about yesterday that in Matthew chapter number 10, we're going to stay there this morning, verse number 15 through verse 21, 14, 15, that the Bible suggests to us that Jesus give them a plan. He tell them what to preach, and he give them proper perspective, that you're going amongst wolves and you're sheep. He said, but there are villages that you're going to go in that won't accept your message. He said, no problem. No problem. If they don't accept your message, go ahead on, go into the street, dust your feet off, and then go to the next village. Because that village may take for granted what another village is praying for. That village might not want what another village is preparing for. That village might not understand and appreciate what another village will immediately accept, because this has been a void all their entire life. Matthew chapter number 10 literally leads us into this narrative where he tells them that before you go to the next village, don't bring that dirt from that village, dust your feet off, then go to the next village. Because you cannot be productive in the next village if you bring in the pain from the last village. Whew. I say you cannot be productive in the next village if you bring in the pain from the last village. You cannot be sound, stable in the next village if you're trying to hide the scars from the last village. You cannot be better in the next village if you're still bitter from the last village. I told y'all to come on in here. I feel real good. My words are working today. Anybody who do a lot of public speaking, you know when your words is working today? No, they working today. You cannot help the next village if you're still carrying the hurt from the last village. Which suggests to all of us, watch this, don't miss this, that there are many of us trying to go to a new village, but we got old village hurt, old village pain, old village ways, old village bitterness, old village frustration. And so you're only going to destroy what is new because you can't get over the old. Woo! I said you're only going to destroy the new because you can't get over the old. One psychologist said that before you open a new door, you have to close old doors. Before you go through a better season, you got to get over the bitter season. Y'all heard it before. Hurt people hurt people. Okay, come on, Pastor, keep going. All right, Matthew 10 tells us that before they go into the new village, and yesterday I suggest to you all, that giving up on people is not the same as giving people up. Giving up on people is not the same as giving people up. Where the heart's at on Instagram. I say giving up on people is not the same as giving people up. So this morning I want to bring a couple of people that you cannot help. And I hope this is beneficial to each and every one of you all. Because here's the thing, all right? You helping them, I want you to jot this down. Somebody jot this down in the comment section. You helping them might just be enabling them. Especially if that person is not assigned for you to help. You and I, and I'm only talking to those who care, those who really love people. That's the ones I'm talking to this morning. Because people who are egotistical or self-indoctrinated with their own press clippings really don't care about people. I'm talking to people who care about people. Now, I'm talking to people who love people. I want to talk to people. It hurts you to see them killing themselves. We did a relationship seminar one time called "When Helping You Is Hurting Me." Come on, y'all. I think I'm gonna bring that back for the 992. I'm gonna bring that back for 2020. Hey, come on, y'all. Jot that down. I don't know if all of our Rock of Ages members, y'all remember that? We did a relationship piece. We call it "When Helping You Is Hurting Me." Those who really care about people understand the dynamic that sometimes when I can't help you, it hurts me. Come on, let's get into this. Because all right, number one, the first person you cannot help is a person, don't miss this, who don't think they need help. That's number one. The first person you cannot help is the person who don't think they need help. You cannot help a person who is sick, who refused to take the medicine. Say it another way, Pastor. No problem. You cannot convince a person to wear a cast who don't believe their bones are broken. Lord have mercy, Jesus. I say it again one more time. You cannot help a person who doesn't believe they need help. Matter of fact, Paul got to that place in Ephesians chapter 1. Paul said, Lord, I can't help them. Ephesians 1 Paul said, but I'm going to pray for them that you open the eyes of their heart that they may see their foolish ways. Matter of fact, let's go to the first thing that you do when you come to church and get saved. Salvation requires you to acknowledge that you need help. Salvation said you got to confess with your mouth that you need the Lord, Romans 10:9-10, that you need the Lord Jesus Christ. Salvation tells you the first thing you need to do in order to be saved is to admit that you need to be saved. Come on, Pastor Everett. Don't do it to me like that this morning. I said salvation says the first thing you need to do to be saved is to acknowledge that you need to be saved. Okay. Matter of fact, any Alcohol Anonymous class, any steps of classes that you go to, the first thing they say is you have to admit that you have a problem. So I cannot help people who does not admit that they need help. That's number one. Because I want y'all to catch this, and I want y'all to throw this in the comment section. And this is this, because whenever a person don't think they need help, your conversations will sound like condemnation. And I be up here every morning giving y'all all this for free. And I'm telling, from business entrepreneur tips to psychological, mental this is something, I tell you. This is something. I'll give it to you again. I love you. I love this. I said, if you ever have a conversation with a person who don't think they need help, your conversation will sound like condemnation. That's why 2 minutes in the conversation, they think you fussing at them. I'm not fussing at you. I'm trying to give you some medicine because you don't know you sick. I'm not fussing at you. I'm like the GPS system. Go 500 feet, make the U-turn because you done missed the turn. All right. So here it is. The first person you can't help is a person who don't believe they need help. Number two, the second person you cannot help is a person who know they need it, but they don't want it. Oh God, here we go. One of the things I suggest that every one of you all, when you go down in prayer today is, Lord, please give me the spirit of discernment to know who don't want it. Period. Lord, give me the spiritual discernment to know who want this help, who want this loyalty, who want this good loving, who want this great person in their life, who really need me as a friend, who really want me as an encourager, inspiration, or prayer partner. Good morning, Mama. Nisha, Mama on Instagram. Lord, give me the spirit of discernment to know who really want this. Because I'm tired of wasting all of this on people who don't want it. God, Lord, I thought y'all would be going crazy. Look, no, let me back up. The second person you cannot help is the person who know they need it, but they don't want it. Okay? And your prayer today is, Lord, give me the spirit of discernment to know who really want all of this. Who want a good best friend. Lord, tell me, please. Or tell me if they just want to go for the ride.